Balaya, 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 Balaya. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm so sorry. Balaya, Balaya, Balaya. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing Veera Sihma Reddy. Am I saying that completely wrong? Probably. I know I'm saying the Reddy part right because I heard it in the movie. But what's this about? It's a very simple premise. First off, we start in two regions of the world. One is Istanbul, Turkey, and the other one is a region in India, or you could call it a city called Simha. Seema. And in that region, there's this one guy who's completely in charge of it. A complete badass. Will fight anyone and everyone for the people of that town. Then we go to Istanbul, Turkey, where the wife, if you want to put it that way, even though they never married, and the son. And what do you know? Paths collide, and people die, and shenanigans, bonkersness ensues. Okay, when people think about action scenes of the craziness that India can produce, these are them. I mean, people flying, people hitting bells, people stacked on top of each other, just people bouncing on drums. And like I said, if you are not entertained with the power punch, you're in the wrong movie theater. It is that simple. So let's talk about the positive of the movie. It's bonkers. It's ridiculous. Before the intermission, the movie doesn't stop. It is action set piece, action set piece, action set piece. Yes, is the story on the wayside? Absolutely. But my goodness, you are having a freaking good time with the action before the intermission. I mean, it is fast, crazy. It can be bloody, even though some of the blood is real and some of it is CGI. That can be part of the negative part. But I'm not joking. I was laughing. I was having a good time. The dialogue was funny. And oh my God, that first dance sequence, my heart was stuttering. I was like, who's this woman? Oh my God, she is so beautiful. I mean, I was like, my heart, what's happening with her? And oh my gosh, I mean, let's be honest, though. I mean, how old is he? He's got to be in his, 50s, maybe 40s or 50s, and she's got to be in her 20s, maybe early 30s. So I was like, okay, that age difference, and, you got to find love. And there was a weird thing where the son and the father are playing the same, character. So when they first meet at the airport, you're like, okay, I see what's going on here. It actually is the same actor. So I thought that was kind of funny. But oh my gosh, that first dance sequence, I was hooked. And my heart, it stopped. My heart stopped on the beauty I saw on screen with her. Anyway, then let's go on to the end. So that's where it could kind of falter with the story, because before the intermission, the story is just kind of like, someone's going to get married and they're finally going to meet. But then after the intermission, it does do a long flashback sequence of why a brother and sister don't like each other. And that kind of puts the story to a halt a little bit. So you're like, okay, what are we trying to get with here? And it was very long with trying to do this backstory. And to continue on with that, there is a final dance sequence at the very end that kind of splits up the final battle and the story. And I think that dance sequence really wasn't necessary. If you put that dance sequence at the end of the movie, when the credits are about to roll, I agree with that. But putting it right there, I thought that movie was over. But I was about to walk out because other Indian movies do that. But I'm glad I didn't walk out because there's more movie. So putting that right there didn't feel right, in my opinion. But some other negatives, like I said in the beginning, the story, it kind of doesn't make sense, especially there's a glaring plot hole, especially with the person he's about to marry, and then dealing with this town. There's a father figure. So the person he's about to marry, the father figure is trying to give it to the bad guy in the town. There is no, overlapping daughter-father relationship of, what are you doing? I'm about to marry this man, and we're about to do this at this town. So there's a lot of stuff right now where you're just like, why are we not talking about that story arc? That story arc should be somewhere. And also, if he's been in Istanbul for I don't know how many years he's been there, I'm just going to guess 30 years, and he finally goes to this region in India for the first time, and he knows the customs and courtesies with the snap of the finger, that kind of felt, off at the same time. But, oh my gosh, I mean, seriously, there's, like I said, there's some glaring issues with this movie. I can completely agree with the story, with some of the acting, with just some of the CGI. Some of the CGI didn't look good with the blood and other areas. But when you would have that badass cars flipping up in the scenes, yeah, that's just fun. That's super freaking fun to watch. But like I said, yeah, there are glaring issues when you watch this film of like, okay, pacing here, story doesn't make sense. Playing father and son was a little bit laughable in my opinion. I did like the bad guy, his scar, and I don't know if it was his right eyes, but those contacts, or if that was his real color eyes, those are some freaking cool eyeballs, as I'm going to say. But hey, I was entertained. Sometimes you go to the movie, shut off your brain, have a laugh, see this bonkerness happen on screen. And yes, the editing, you can say some of the editing where there's action set pieces going in slow motion, then you would skip here, then you would skip here, then you would skip here. Sometimes you would want to see everything just go in one motion, like no edits, but not a lot of the action sequences in this movie does that. Like I said, Veera Sihma Reddy, it's basically, are you screaming at the camera? Are you not entertained? So Veera Sihma Reddy will receive a 3.5 out of 5 Futons. It goes at 70%. Let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. So on Rotten Tomato, there are no critics, but on the audience side, 75% fewer than 50. There you go. 75-70. Chase out with the blue futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. It's Moved you Buftonians. That burp was actually, so I had some throw up in it. Ugh. But seriously, are you not entertained?